Hello and welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I am your host Dewey Bear, and joining me as always. Oh, should I start? No, I'm not going to start over. As always is the fair, the kind, Rody Pie.
I'm sure if I'm kind, I'll try to be kind to the developers this week. Maybe.
Yes,
She's kind off camera.
She is staying dry somehow in wet old England. And of course, joining us, he's back.
Hello.
TopGunBunny.
Yay.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, as always. And this week, I did have a bunch of catch-ups that we're going to do, but there were just a little too many games this week, so I trimmed that down. But we still have a lot of games to talk about, and I'm excited. Let me see. I guess before we get started on that, we'll ask Adam, what have you been playing this week?
I don't know what happened, but I'm playing Genshin Impact now. I know I haven't spent any money. Everyone's like, do you still have any money? Mm-hmm. And I could see it. It's like you get wishes and you get new characters, and it's gambling, and I can see it, and I want them, but I don't want to spend any money. But otherwise, it's a pretty great game. It kind of seems like a little bit of a Breath of the Wild ripoff, but it adds a lot of new elements and a lot of improvements that Breath of the Wild didn't have, but still kind of the same gameplay. It's like Breath of the Wild and Devil May Cry had a baby, but
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
If you're at all familiar with like free-to-play monetization, and you're like me as someone who doesn't spend money in free-to-play games, unless it's like specifically for a content expansion or something, yeah, you can kind of ignore it. You just have to like not worry about being competitive in the competitive areas. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like I'm just playing through the storyline. I don't know if like later on in the late game it becomes pay to win. Like you need to compete with people, but it doesn't seem like you need to compete with people at all. It's just co-op.
Yeah. Most folks I know have been able to play through the whole plot line without spending anything. So
I think I'll do that.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's very I have played it a bit, and I would say it's very beautiful. Really neat. Some of the storylines are quite neat, but it's also like very, and as a bit of a Japanophile, it is very weeby. Like it hits every stereotype, and then you're like, okay.
Yeah, at every step of the way. Yep.
Every step of the way. But yeah. Anything else? Just Genshin?
Well, I think it's been a while since I've been on here now. I was playing Grand Theft Auto last time I was here, I think. I played a lot more Grand Theft Auto. I went back to Newfoundland for a trip for a week, and when I came back I kind of just dropped it. I was playing Genshin, but there was a new update recently. Where they introduced like car meets, so you can bring your car to this kind of car meet area, and they allow you to buy auto body shops and stuff like that now. So I logged on for that to try it out. It was pretty good, but I think Genshin's just had my attention.
Yeah, and it's funny how that happens. Like you have an interruption, and then like I'm just not in the mood for this anymore, kind of thing.
I think what it was I was playing with my family, and they I was gone for a week and a half, and they kind of just continued playing. And then I think their interest in it kind of fizzled out, and they were a lot further ahead than I was. And I was like, okay, let's go play something else.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, Rody, what about you? How have you been clearing out that that backlog?
Not bad. Are you gonna do the?
Oh,
do
that's
the
right. What's played? I did it again. I did it again. There we go. Dear.
I've completed even more of my my list of the recent things that I bought from the summer sale though. So once I clear that, then is even more backlog. So anyway, I started to and played Dude Stop, which is awesome. I'm had such a great time with this.
I heard about this one. This is kind of like the OCD, like.
Yeah. And there's a story in it and everything, and it just it makes me so happy just playing it. And I finished like the main story bit, and now I'm just like doing like achievement hunting pretty much. And so the ones that are left are like really very, very difficult, but I'm determined to get those last few achievements. But yeah, it's been lots of fun. I really like the narrator who's doing it. It's great.
Well, that's interesting. You get a choice to be like good, and then you get a choice to be just chaos. That's quite funny.
To get all the you see all the rewards or the cups, you have to do both. You have to like play once like doing bad on that section. You do it by sections, and then do it again, but be good. It's really good. It's a fantastic game. I recommend it. I recommend it to people for sure. And I've been playing more Cozy Grove, and I got in the mail about so when you get to the island, there is like a post office kind of thing that's run by one of the deceased, and it says and you get mail from one of your scoutmasters, I guess, and he admits quite jollily that, I'm glad you're sticking it out because we have like lost a few scouts along the way, but as long as we're all doing good and everything. and you find out like one of the residents that you're trying to help move on and everything has done something absolutely horrific. It's probably why they're still there, and you're like, and I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't want to. I almost like don't want to help them anymore. It's pretty terrible what they did, but it's getting quite interesting. I really like hearing, because you go through their stories, but it's so bit by bit by bit that it's like it becomes a bit frustrating, because some days you don't get a story piece and you're just doing quests. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because it's very difficult to combine that kind of Animal Crossing kind of laziness, doing quests, just fumbling around on an island, and then you've got these very interesting stories that you want to find out about, but they're like drip drab coming out of these.
I'm back in 3 days. That sort of stuff.
No, completely. That's exactly how it is, and it's just like, all right, fine. So yeah, but other than that, been playing a couple more things, but I'll talk about them when I get those done.
Okay.
But what about you, Dewey? What have you been playing?
Well, I am now about I'm a bit over halfway done with Grease, and I have to say it's still holding up. It's still very slow, and I still have to be in a very special mood to play it. But as you go, because I started out this like, this is an extremely casual platformer. Okay, I'd still call it casual, but there's actually been a little bit of head scratcher moments, because it gradually introduces new mechanics, and then you get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, so what route do I take to get to this point? Because so there's these platforms that basically alternate their shape, and so like how you're able to approach them, and so you have to figure out the pattern in order to get up to the top, and it's like sometimes you have to go in kind of an odd direction in order to eventually get to the top. It's quite rewarding when you do it. I also encountered the first bit of I wouldn't say it's like particularly a monster and an enemy, but a mechanic that you have to utilize that was like, oh no, do I need to avoid this? And eventually I had to figure out like, I actually have to go towards it. Actually have to use this to my benefit. It's a really neat world. I feel like I'm getting an idea of what the story is, but it's still very open to interpretation. So that's quite enjoyable. It's like it's still a mystery. It's very magical feeling. And I feel like ultimately I'm going to finish the game and still not really understand the story exactly. I'm probably going to read a forum and there's going to be a ton of different theories. So, yeah, but it's quite beautiful.
It looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Do you find that satisfying narratively when it's like left up to interpretation, or would you rather have it sort of almost absolute, like this is what this is about kind of thing?
If there was, for example, dialogue and like real like character, like vocal character interactions, etc., I would really want to have it spelled out. But in this one, there's no dialogue. Everything, all the storytelling is very visual. So even if they did try to be super explicit, you still might not get it. So I'm fairly okay with how they're doing it, where it's just kind of mysterious and strange. And at the end of it, you're like, well, I felt things. I'm not sure why I felt things, but I felt things. And that's definitely what I would consider this. It's but overall, as far as like, one of the best tutorials I've ever played is Portal 1. It's basically the entire game's a tutorial. And this does somewhat very similar to that, where it's very gradually introducing it, and it just makes it without any sort of, they don't give you any words or any like sort of tutorial instructions for how to do stuff, besides like, this button does this, like hit blank to do this. But other than that, it's very just visually learning, so it's cool. I think I'll be done with it. I think it's only about 4 hours long, honestly, but maybe 5. But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every minute of it so far. So yeah.
What was that one called again? I'm watching it on your stream, but
Gris, Gris, Gris. It's fantastic. It is $16.99, and having played how far I have through it, I would actually spend that much money on it, knowing how good it was. So it's kind of short for that. If you're not sure, get it on a sale or whatever. But I do feel like I'm getting a $16 or $17 experience out of it. So it definitely deserves its like 96% positive rating. But yeah, that's Gris. Of course, I'll have to see what the conclusion is like, but so far it's been great. All right, and that's what I played. So first up, we have the Catchup. Starting with a very hard to search game called Artifacts.
Yeah, it's not called Trine 3.
No, it's not. Let me see. It's not even the top result.
No, I have to
it's
go
from
like
last year too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, September 16th. Yeah.
It's not Lost Artifacts. It's not Trine 3 Artifacts of Power. It's not the Artifacts.
Become strong and reclaim what you lost. Artifacts is a 2D adventure platformer set in an ancient interconnected kingdom littered with powerful relics. Collect synergistic artifacts to challenge the mighty, corrupted foes that lurk beneath the ground.
Army Green was a really daring color palette to focus on. Not exactly a color most people consider pretty. And I'm not sure if it would even be better if the character wasn't Army Green, but I have to say, the developer has a style. But the animation, the movement, the sort of they've got so many different assets going on. I'm just impressed by the level of work. Even if the aesthetic, I'm like, I like it in some spots, and I'm kind of like, ooh, in others.
I'm like mainly ooh.
Yeah.
Really surprised this hasn't gotten a little bit more attention over the past year.
Yeah.
Because it looks ooh through most of it, but
It does look a little bit but
yeah.
The action does look very good, though. I think maybe it's the aspect ratio that's also a little odd. It's got a strange aspect ratio.
It looks like it could be played on a Game Boy.
Maybe this is a port or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's developed by Eric Laber, who has also done... Nope, nothing else. Just Artifacts on here. Let me see. Huge interconnected kingdom with 9 biomes, finely tuned 2D platforming, collect many artifacts, and allow for advanced unique movement. So it's kind of a roguelike. I'm not a roguelike, Vania, a Metroidvania sort of. Open-ended level design, go wherever, whenever you'd like. If you're up for it, find 50 unique artifacts, synergy-based action, a unique soundtrack, and powerful bosses with unique mechanics and rewards. So they kind of leave it fairly open for you to go, and of the 4 reviews it has, 3 are positive so far.
This is an interesting review. It's hard to exactly point out why you'd want to recommend this game. The camera's extremely choppy in its movement, and it's clear as day that this game lacks some polish. On the flip side, once you figure out what is going on and more or less what you're trying to do, it becomes very interesting after all, and overall seems to be a very genuine product. So thank you, Pouting Boo.
Yeah, that sounds like a great review.
Just a little Google search on him. It seems like he's done other games before, but they've never made it to Steam, or they've been too small. I just posted it in the chat though.
Oh yeah, yep.
It's interesting.
Thank you.
I'm looking here, and they do kind of have. They all sort of. We've been trying to think of a term for this, but it's basically pixel art that doesn't have any line art. So it's just there's no sort of line or gradient going on. It is a style, and he's very much dedicated to it. With looking at these other games, it's cool that he found the confidence to finally put one up there, and I look forward to his, future developments. Considering he's made 4 other games besides this. That's cool.
It's £2.89, and as you said, there's only 4 user reviews.
Yep. $3.99 USD. Next up is Dog Duty.
Let's see. As some evil bigwig octopus commander and his army of threatening world peace, it's up to you and your squad of misfits to eliminate the octo scum, liberate outposts, defeat bosses, and wreck these wicked squids up. But beware, they're well armed.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, first of all,
That's worth a cackle, eh?
So it's isometric. There's some pixel art, but the environment isn't entirely pixel art. There's things that are pixel art in it, but then there's some things that aren't. Surprisingly, it does look fine though, like kind of mixing the 3D, the hand drawn, and the pixel art. It does end up looking okay somehow.
Yeah, I quite like the way this looks. I'm not sure if it's something I'd pick up personally, but it's done really well.
All right. The features include assemble a 3-person anti-squid squid squad, and squids and octopuses are a little bit different. Okay, and fight in real-time squid combat. Liberate outposts to cut off weapon, armor, and other octo supplies. Defeat epic bosses and kill your way to the evil octopus commander. And fight on top of your armored octo frying vehicle wild drive. They're really dedicated to the bit.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it. I appreciate someone who's dedicated to the bit. Those squids are not octopus.
Yeah. So apparently the developers are a husband and wife team from Brazil. Sodesco. Yeah, published by Dutch veteran Sodesco of Owlboy fame. So wow, it looks really polished, and that's cool to hear that it's just a couple.
Yeah, I had the main issue that people have with it is that it's quite short. So it's under 4 hours. I've seen people with like under 3 hours have completed it. So yeah.
$14.99 USD. So yeah, it does seem to be pretty short then.
Yeah, it's £11.39, and it is standing at mostly positive though at 75% with 29 user reviews.
That's good. That's good. Right, it's got great style. I am actually quite tempted to add this to my wish list. Dog Duty. All right. Next up is A Little Bird.
Let's see. A little bird contains 50 different puzzles and beautiful illustrations. Break the puzzle and complete the fairy tale book of the princess through dialogue with important characters.
Yeah, so this is
That's
grid-based
delightful.
puzzle. Yeah, grid-based puzzle. It looks really fun, actually.
I like the character as well. I like the way the character looks and these little cutscenes as well. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it does that combination of being it's very pretty, but there's actually minimal texture work. So it's very pretty, but it's very simple. So I wouldn't be surprised that this hat was made by a very small team. But they use their time and effort very wisely. Some code.
It says adventure puzzles of various difficulty levels. Over 50 puzzles made with a combination of 18 puzzle elements. Challenge yourself. Oh, is it too difficult? Do not worry. There are also hints. That's good.
This actually reminds me of a Tomb Raider mobile game that I played at one point.
Oh.
I tried to look it up to see if I could remember, but I couldn't find it. But it was basically that isometric puzzle kind of thing where you move one step and then the snakes would move around, and you move another step and then the snakes would move around and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I did enjoy my time playing it, if that's any indication.
Yeah, that does. I feel like something like this would fit the Tomb Raider franchise quite well, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks I can't find it. I must not have had it on Steam. I think it was on mobile.
Yeah, that is a little bird developed by Sumco.
It's £7.19, and unfortunately, there's only 4 user reviews.
And it is $9.99 USD. Next up is our final catch-up game, Cyber Protocol.
Want to feel like a cyberpunk hacker? Save your friend by beating 100 levels of security system in this hardcore arcade puzzle game.
So, is this like an evolved version of, like, not Pac-Man, but...
It kind of does look like Pac-Man.
It kind of looks like Pac-Man.
It's awfully bright.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the trailer shows how... Let me see. Let's look at the screenshot. Yeah, the screenshots are pretty bright. maybe a little overdone with the glow, but I do like the UI overall. It's very like 1980s hacker movie. So aesthetic. Let's see. Yeah, so there's 100 levels, brings new and original challenge. Competition. If playing with deadly AI is not enough, you can always invite your family and friends. Cyber Protocol supports local challenges for even 4 players, but remember, the title of the best hacker can reach only one. Yeah, retro vibe. Yep, 5 visual and 3 music seams and 24 achievements. Right. Most helpful.
It looks really interesting, and I'm just very curious how this plays. I might add this to my wish list, but
yeah.
I don't know if it'd be like too difficult, and I'd just like get really frustrated with it though. I don't know.
All right, so one review that has 469 hours on this game was 7.7 hours at the review time. This is a sliding puzzle game. This is not a Pac-Man. This is not Pac-Man. There are 100 levels. This sounds easy, right? Wrong. It's a sliding puzzle game with obstacles that are out to kill you and ruin your day. So there's a bunch of. So it's an action puzzler, yeah.
Interesting. It's £7.19, and someone managed to put in over 400 hours into it. So yeah, it's you definitely get your money's worth.
Yeah.
only has 8 user reviews though currently.
Let me see. For your Lara Croft game, like Fluxer was saying, like, was it Lara Croft Go? Was that just a joke?
You know what? Lara Croft Go at my that's It seems like that would be a silly name for it, but that might actually
Yep.
be it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up, we have our releases, starting with Monday, July 19th, and beginning with Existensis.
Explore the world of Ara. I think it's Ara.
Yeah,
For artistic inspiration, so that you may reach the meanings of life and complete your artistic opus. Many branching paths will take you to every corner of the globe as you explore this peaceful and colourful world.
It's really wild looking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There is a game that it does have a similar style to, but I can't remember the name. But it's quite striking, isn't it?
It is. It's because I and there's some elements of it that I really, really love how it looks, and there's some elements though that I think look a bit crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's like that very, it's got that hand drawn. It's hand drawn style, but some of it's like really well polished, and some of it's just like maybe you should have done that bit again. Like the first like shot, screenshot there, and it's like the background of the town. Oh, look terrible!
Yeah, I think it's possible that it's just a situation the art style developed over the course, and they just didn't go back and do their early work again.
Because the second screenshot, looks
much sharper.
better.
Yeah. Wow, that's really, really interesting. So this is developed by Ozzie Sneddon, who I believe is a solo dev, and also made Eigengrow Menagerie, which has a very similar art style, but albeit different color palette, and was just a 20 to 30 minute game, whereas this one is at least a few hours, if I remember correctly. Existensis.
3 to 4 hours of handcrafted content. Yeah.
Right. I do like that he included the length, because the game does cost about $15, $14.99. But
it's £11.39, and it's standing at 100% positive with the 11 user reviews.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All right.
So this game had a wonderful story, enjoyable characters, and beautiful art and music throughout. I highly recommend this game and look forward to games made by Ozzie in the future. Thank you, Zamad 653. Yeah. So I think it's very nice. I would prefer it to be maybe a little bit maybe get it on a sale or something.
Right. Okay, next up is the very anticipated, from Tuesday, July 20th, Death's Door.
Reaping souls of the dead and punching a clock might get monotonous, but it's honest work for a crow. The job gets lively when your assigned soul is stolen, and you must track down a desperate thief to a realm untouched by death, where creatures grow far past their expiry. Interesting.
I like the look of this one.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of A Hat in Time. The crows were a bit different in that one, but like the animation and the way that they're moving around.
Yeah, this looks really neat. I like how it has kind of a film noir thing for the trailer here. Very film noir. And then it ends up going, let me see, later on. It ends up going, and you get to the actual gameplay, it's quite colorful. Because which I think was very smart of them. I do kind of wonder if starting out they wanted to do the whole game in noir. It was definitely the right call to go for color.
Or maybe they chose the first bit as noir because it's death. Life has been, life is absent, and then when they're going somewhere where death doesn't touch it, it's like, oh no, it's all this color.
I think it's too bad that their gameplay isn't actually like the trailer. The trailer looks great.
The trailer does look good. I just wonder if like an entire game that's kind of in that more noir look. Oh, it seems some of the gameplay has noir. like the black and white. So
Yeah.
some of the gameplay has it. I just wonder if like the whole game being that tone would have been. Yeah, because it seems when he's back in the sort of the Reapers areas, it's black and white. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A real thematic connection. This has been reviewed by 1,495 people, and it's been given a 93% positive.
Oh, that's incredible.
This must have been around for a little bit. It only got released on the 20th, but it must have been around.
Yeah, it was in early access for a bit.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, I do believe, but it is published by Devolver Digital, and it was highly anticipated, so I kind of wonder... Because the thing is, normally if it's been in early access, it has like recent reviews. Let me see. Let's look at the history of the reviews. No, it doesn't show review history. Yeah, I'm looking. July 25th. All the reviews I'm seeing July 24th are from July. Well, browse all 1,500 reviews. All right.
This ranks number 9 best PC game of 2021 right now on Metacritic.
Wow.
Wee.
Well, you know, was this? Did they mention this during?
I think this was brought up during the Summer Game Fest.
So yeah, it was. You know, I think people got to. This has been people have heard of it before, and it was, as you said, highly anticipated.
Yeah. Oh no, my mistake. It was the E3 showcase, Devolver Digital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, and folks were really excited about it when they saw it there. So Devolver Digital really does a good job promoting, as a publisher, promoting the games that they're releasing. So, and this one, it's $19.99 USD, but I'm seeing typically, as far as hours go, between 20 and 10 hours on average. So
for for $20, like that seems like a really, really good deal. For something that has so many reviews already.
Yeah. What surprises me is it's not a roguelike. This is an action RPG. So that's... It just had a roguelike feel. Huh?
What's the RPG bit?
Oh, yeah. So you have a bit of a character build thing going on that they showed on one of these points. So yeah, there is a process where you build up your character. There's a bunch of different weapons that your character can choose from. And so there's a bit of an RPG element there.
Yeah, it's £16.79.
Yeah, yep. That is $19.99. I'm quite interested in it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that one on my wish list for sure.
Yeah, that's going on my wish list. Death's Door by Acid Nerve. If I go to Acid Nerve also developed Titan Souls. Which we did we didn't talk about that, but that one came out in 2015. So that it's been a bit since their last game, so they've really been at work. Okay, next up, another highly anticipated game, Cris Tales, released.
Cris Tales is a gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs with a new perspective. Peer into the past, act in the present, and watch as your choices dynamically change the future, all on one screen as you play. This looks amazing. It
does, and I was kind of crushed to see that it got a really mixed review score. It's at 62%. I was reading through, because when I was doing research on it, I was like, wait, why is this reviewing so poorly? And I went through the reviews, and it seems to be that a lot of people are quite upset that it doesn't seem to be at all like its demo. So the demo was one way. It had a certain degree of difficulty. It was very interesting and such. And then when the game itself came out, the systems don't get any further complex than what it was in the demo. And folks are like, wait a second. So this is a much more shallow game than they were expecting. Because the demo introduces all this stuff, and then from then on it's like, well, that's kind of it. They're like, wait a second, it doesn't develop further from here.
That's bad. I mean, this is another game that we've spoken about this year that had a demo out, and then people were excited for it, and then people actually anticipated for them. They got the game, and it was like, hang on a second, hang on a second, why isn't it as good as a demo? Oh.
Yeah, and because it has such a neat idea where you have the past, like the past, future, and present all on the same screen going on. But let me see. Okay, so this is a very long review, but it was basically they played it for 30 hours, so it's not a short game at all. But the issues they started to see the issues about 2/3 of the way in, and it just the main plot has a good foundation, but suffered from a lack of development, pacing, and transition. I didn't mind. I was able to suss out a lot of the plot while playing. Yeah, and then they were pretty happy that a lot of the characters acted like you'd expect them to, given what information you have about them. But overall, it just like the rest of the game does not feel as polished as the demo. So
that's such a shame.
It's Destiny 1.
Yeah, and that can happen. You get a demo that's just fantastic, and then the rest of the game's like, oh, it doesn't get better than the demo.
Yeah,
So go ahead and play the demo. The demo's great, apparently.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I think like they put quite a bit of effort into the demo, and they can polish it a bit more. And it's a nice snapshot of what the game could be. And then when for such a massive game, it's like how do you make sure you keep the pacing up and everything like that? All these other elements.
Yeah.
It is $31.49. It's 10% off right now. I am going to put this on my wish list, but I'm not ready to pick up another RPG just yet.
Yeah, and most of the reviews even the negative reviews were saying that yes, the story is very interesting, but the RPG combat mechanics and all the rest got extremely repetitive, and there was just there's at a certain point it stopped to feel like there was any growth. So yeah, or you just it became trivially easy. So but that's that's kind of the growing pains, especially for Dreams Uncorporated. This is their first RPG that I know of. So but
yeah, I've played a few like indie RPGs, and that's unfortunately kind of a typical thing I find. It's like you kind of towards the end you're just kind of going through the motions and just getting to the end of the story, rather than like the combat is like they're doing something interesting with the combat, or something new has been thrown in. It's like it's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is Cris Tales. You can get it for 10% off right now at $35.99.
That's quite the price tag.
Yeah, that is quite the price tag as well.
Yeah.
It is published by one of the more notable indie publishers, Modus Games. Right, next up is Beardblade.
Run and jump through tropical 16-bit locales as you fend off foes with the powerful Branson's shape-shifting beard. Visit the barber to toughen your scruff with new abilities and confront the thieving smugglings. Oh my god!
So I get
10 out of 10 for the blurb.
Yeah. So I guess the smugglings are goblin smugglers, I guess. Oh my word!
I like that you can actually visit the barber in the game.
Yeah, I love that. And oh my god, the beard is the one doing the climbing up the rope and like grabbing onto ledges and everything like that. Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's so clever, and the art style is really nice. It's really reminiscent of just kind of Nintendo, old Nintendo games. It's really polished. It looks so
really
polished.
like a lot of Donkey Kong vibes from this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so good, and I love the idea of it as well. The gimmick, it's fantastic.
You got a magical beard. Yeah, it's quite clever. Yeah, I mean, let me see. You got games where you've got characters with magical tongues, or they did something. They did something that I don't think I've seen before. So very clever.
So yeah, it says traditional platforming with modern twists merge the best and of then and now. Earn coins and hit up the barbershop to expand your beard abilities. Explore lots of levels packed with treasures to collect, including music, records, and more. Colourful pixel art and lively animations influenced by the beloved 16-bit and 32-bit titles. I'm just wondering how long this is. Because obviously, right now, they're seeing wildly different times.
Yeah, but I think it probably averages between 2 and 6. I mean, there's one reviewer that has 15, but yeah, it looks quite fun though. But yeah, it's about $20 USD.
Yeah, £15.49, and currently there are 20 user reviews. So it's standing at positive with 90%.
Okay.
I really like the pixel work, like the pixel art with the beard's movements. I'm just watching it now.
They really focused on making sure the movement looked nice. So
yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good for a game like this.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So nice. Anyhow, but yeah, that is Beard Blade. Next up is Mini Motorways.
Mini Motorways is a strategy simulation game about designing the roadmap of a growing city, build a traffic network one road at a time to create a bustling metropolis, redesign your roads and place your motorways to get everyone where they need to go. How long can you keep the city moving?
I am shocked at how popular this is.
Yeah, I think because their previous game was also very good. But there's something very nice, very satisfying about you laying down like roads or any sort of transport kind of system, and then the buildings automatically grow. You can see just the city growing. I think that's just fantastic.
I played City Skylines for a long time, and actually it's being suggested to me down there as well, but that's what it reminds me of, City Skylines. And I had a lot of fun with like where the traffic was backing up and you'd have to make new roads and new highways and stuff to get things around. It's only $10. Like, I'm definitely going to put this one on my wish list.
I'm not a simulation gamer, but there is this guy who does like City Skylines, and he has an entire YouTube channel of this, and it's just him fixing the traffic on other people's city skylines.
And I watched that. Yes,
it's fascinating to watch.
Oh yes, I would. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that.
It's so good watching it, but I'm just like, I don't understand.
Oh, it's satisfying.
You have to link that to TopGunBunny now at the end of the show.
Yes,
okay, I'll have to find him after the show. I don't remember, but it's just like you can put him on and just for hours, and it's just like really satisfying.
I want it. I want it.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. This is something that definitely appeals to me. I love Transport Tycoon, and played like hours and hours of it. I wish it was, I wish there was like the team did a modern version of it with even more new ways of getting people around. And you can get the bundle with the previous game, Mini Metro. And altogether it's 54% off at £6.59. So absolute bargain. This game by itself is 10% off now, at £6.47, and it's overwhelmingly positive at 95% with over 1,000 user reviews, 1,435 user reviews to be precise.
Yeah. It really is an example of function over form in that, like, so this looks nicer to me than their previous game, but the previous game was also hugely successful. And so it's clearly they just know how to make systems that are very satisfying to people. So, yeah, it's cool. Dinosaur Polo Club is the developer. Say that 10 times fast. My word. But yeah, that's Buy Mini Motorways. It's it's $8.99 by itself, or get it in the bundle for $9.18 for both games. Okie doke. Next up, Wednesday, July 24th, we have July 21st. I can't talk. Wednesday, MouseBot, Escape from CatLab.
Grab the cheese and escape the cats in this hilarious obstacle course. Well, it's a mouse, but it's also a mouse. From the back, it looks like an actual. Yeah.
Yeah. This something about like the cat people at certain screenshots reminds me a lot. The aesthetic reminds me a lot of that developer Eloise. What's her name? She's a Quebec developer who did like the rabbits and it has a similar look to that. So it's quite appealing in that way. It's so cute. My word.
Because I always think her work looks very pastel, and this is like very shiny.
Yeah, this is more shiny. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it looks a lot of fun. It looks a lot of fun, and it looks like a nice game to just pick up and play for a bit.
Mm-hmm. The obstacle course is kind of also giving me what's that? Fall Guys, kind of giving me a bit of a Fall Guys vibe where it's like, oh no, what do I do now? I am sort of wondering, is your character speed set, or can you slow down? Let me see.
There's 88 challenging mazes filled with traps and obstacles, hilarious cartoon destruction, try not to get crushed, dumped, zapped, or blown to bits, unlock new abilities, run, jump, and transform for land and water, collect epic piles of cheese, win new skins and accessorize to customize MouseBot, unlock the extra fast, extra nefarious new arcade mode.
I'm not finding much as far as the hints of controls and such from the reviews, but both reviews are positive right now, and it is only $3.99 USD.
Yeah, 20% off right now at £3.19.
Robot Mousey.
Eloise person you guys were talking about, is that the one who did Alchemy Story?
Yeah. She did the cat cafe thing as well.
Yes, the cat cafe. Oh, yeah, Alchemy Story. Yeah, I guess it is different now that I look. Eloise LaRoche, she's done Bunny Park, Alchemy Story, and Lemon Cake. So that was 2020 and 2021 have been the years that she's released games so far. So, but yeah.
Nice.
All right, so with that, next up is going to be Song of Farca. However, I'm going to bring up the Prologue page.
You are Isabella Song, a hacker PI. Your job is to hack cameras, phones, and computers, as well as question suspects, analyze evidence, and draw conclusions. But don't forget that in Farca City, even criminals can end up victims.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is just kind of a hacker game with a big dose of story. It is, hacker/investigation, I guess, as well.
Oh yeah, sorry, I read the prologue. If I read the main one, it's
go ahead and read the main one.
Yeah, hack into crime scenes, look for evidence, analyze data, interrogate criminals, track suspects, and deal with the consequences of your decisions. This is a dark and brutal detective story with the Black Mirror-esque atmosphere of digital dominance and the narrative structure of a US crime procedural.
Yeah. It's also would be a rated M game, so it does contain nudity and such, which is why I'm just on the prologue, because I don't want to miss the page switching. It's like, oh no, terms of service. But it's not explicitly like a. There is nudity, but it's not. It is an investigation game, so It's rated M, not worse than that. So, but yeah, I'm shocked that this is published by Alawar.
Oh yeah.
Because if you look at Alawar, so they're known for a lot of well, this is Alawar Premium, I guess, though. So that's different.
But then again, they have things like the Beholder and Beholder 2 and Do Not Feed the Monkeys, which are
about that.
Yeah. So
okay.
So those are and Distrust as well. So that is like very kind of on brand.
Okay, yeah. I guess it is now as of 2016, but because most of the time when I see Alawar, I think of like browser games. That's my immediate thought. So it seems they have a separate label, Alawar Premium. That's all their like buy to play. I'm not gonna. Don't know how to word this. Non-browser, very like full function games. Yeah. So
it seems like they're full narrative games, sort of like Choices Matter kind of. They do a lot of.
Which does excite me. I think that's really cool when studios go from more of like the kind of browser type games, extremely casual games, and then starts to jump into a bit more fully fleshed out proper game art pieces. So, like I'm trying to think. That's a transition that certain studios, at least last time we checked, like Zynga and Zynga occasionally does something interesting, but Zynga and Big Fish is another one that's kind of notorious for just browser games. But sometimes there's just a game that they put out that's like, oh, that's really cool. I wish you'd do more of this. And it seems Alawa's doing that, so that's really cool.
So yeah, there are multiple cases, and as you've brought up the Prologue. The Prologue is the first case of it. So I'm just looking now to see how many cases there are. I wonder if it says on here. No, it doesn't say. But, it's super interesting. I love the way it looks as well. I'm seeing people with like 8 to 10 hours of gameplay.
All right, yeah, that's not bad.
This one reminds me of Orwell. Again, so this one's probably going to go on my wish list, but I will try that Prologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when they have free demos.
It's all good. Yeah, it's standing at 85% positive with 81 user reviews, and it's 10% off right now at $13.94.
Okay, that's pretty good, and it's nice because the Prologue, which is free, of course, so that's going to skew the score, but the Prologue has a 90% positive, so it's really neat that the actual release isn't that much farther behind. So. Okay, next up we have Urban Trial Tricky. There we go.
Deluxe. No, you missed one.
Oh, did I miss one? Oh, I did. Yeah. I missed one. Fresh Body. Sorry. Urban Trial Tricky can wait. Let's do Fresh Body.
Defeat your enemies, take their body parts to replace yours, and become another strong boss yourself.
What?
This one is another kind of game that I'm not, sort of like the first game we talked about today, Artifacts. I'm not sold on the aesthetics, but there does seem to be a lot of, regardless of that, there does seem to have been a lot of work done on this.
Yeah, I was the same. When I saw this, I was like, oh, it's like, personally, the look of it doesn't appeal to me at all, but there seem to be a lot of people who have had a lot of fun with this. So it's like, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd be remiss if we didn't bring it up because it's got over 1,000 reviews. It's mostly positive at.
Yeah, it's like 76% positive. Yeah.
Is this from? This release date was 16th of November 2016.
Oh, it's just come out of early access.
Really? For 5 years.
5 years, yeah. That is a long time. But if we look into it, so there's there's 180 plus monster bodies that can be used to create unique character with heads, arms, and legs for monsters. It's disgusting, but it's for your own good. So gene enhancement, there's 180 plus skills from super speed to lasers or super punches, 20 plus talents. And yeah, so there's also randomly generated levels, hardcore mode, and choices are important. So
it's a lot of Binding of Isaac kind of stuff that I'm getting from this one. It smells like Binding of Isaac.
It does. It does.
This came out 5 years ago. Binding of Isaac was similarly. I can't remember when Binding of Isaac came out.
I think Binding of Isaac was definitely came out before that.
2014.
Yeah. Yep. So
it's $6.99, so it's not a bad price either.
And it's equally as grotesque, which is just probably one of the reasons why I'm just not super into it. I'm not very into Riding of Isaac either.
Yeah. I liked Binding of Isaac, but that was, again, it was like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is Fresh Body. You can get it for $9.99 USD now, if you're looking for something like that. Yeah. Fresh Body. Now my copy paste is not working. Urban
sometimes, yeah.
Trial Tricky. There we go.
Grab your seat and pull off the most savage tricks and combos on your motorbike. Ride freely, spin around in the air, go back and forth, and let yourself be carried away by the fun, fast-paced gameplay, colourful visuals, and smooth controls.
I used to play the crap out of a game like this when I was like a kid. It did not look like this. It was 2D, and it was just a bicycle, but I really, really liked it.
I think I played like a similar game that you're describing as well.
Or like the motorbike ones where you have to get through the course. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a browser game I played that was a toboggan that was kind of like this.
Yeah. Like, it's an old concept for a game, but I don't know what the tricks do for you in this one. I would rather the obstacle course and less the how many points you can get.
Yeah, because if it's like, you have to keep doing like loads of tricks. I'm not very good at those kind of games. I've like played them when I was a kid and everything, because it was like a case of play whatever my brother bought, and I just was never very good at those. But this does look like a lot of fun if you're highly skilled at these kind of things, though. It is 20% off right now at £14.39. It's only got 4 user reviews currently, though. It says exciting, light-hearted, casual gameplay, crazy mix of tricks, platforming, and racing, killer tricks to combine in countless combos, super smooth experience, 3 single-player modes, over 30 levels, plus side challenges, savage customization options, leaderboards to rule, infinite gameplay, more freedom, more fun, riding in both directions.
The one thing about it that I'm just that I don't like is a bit of it feels like we're chasing after the Fortnite crowd a little bit too much. That's what I immediately feel when I see it.
The dances, the dances. I don't know if we're really
we're just a bunch of old
target audience for this one.
Yeah, probably not. But it's 20% off right now for $15.99. And let me see, how many levels did it say there were? 30 levels plus side challenges. So, okay, that is Urban Trial Tricky by Tate Media. Okay, our second to last game is Smoots Summer Games.
Smoots Summer Games is a sports arcade game for 1 to 4 players where you can play 18 athletic events. I mean, this is perfect to come out right now as we've got the summer games going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has kind of a Wii Sports vibe, I guess. I am the game like this really lives and dies on what the control schemes are for each event. Like, are the controls really dumb, or are they actually quite engaging? That's the main defense. That's the main concern, because I never liked Olympic games. Like, did you ever play the Sega Olympic games? And it's like the running, like the what's that event where you're lunging, like you're jumping over things, right? It's like a combination of a sprint, and you have to jump all over these small.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called the hurdle. Yeah, hurdles.
Yeah, the hurdle. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. So with that, you basically had to go like back, forth, back, forth. You have to go like A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, 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 B, A, B. And it was just, I don't know, that's not very engaging to me. I was just like, yeah, this is it's kind of dumb. But
it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Bad game.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of these are really old, but like the backyard backyard games that they would come on a disc on a cereal box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of those, which I liked, but
you could tell they were kind of like cheaply made sort of thing. Yeah.
It's like, well, I got this for free on a cereal box, so that's fair.
Yeah.
And I did eat the cereal, so.
Neat thing, the kid who grew up next door to me, in the house that I grew up in, he is on the America team for the hurdles this year in the Olympics.
Oh,
which
very nice.
Is really surprising because I haven't seen him in like a decade and a half. And I just looked and I was like, wait, what? Wait, the neighbor kid is at the Olympics?
That's crazy.
So I was quite surprised. That's the only reason I'm really keeping up with the Olympics this year.
Yeah. I love the Winter Olympics. I'm in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't watch the Summer Olympics. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sure. Sorry to Canada also, who has, I'm sure, amazing summer athletes in the Olympics this year. But yeah, I'm holding out for the winters.
I'm one of these people that loves watching the opening and closing of the games, and then I'll like sort of keep an interest on who's on the tally on who's won what golds or medals or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, okay, oh that's nice.
Yeah, no, like for the Winter Olympics, I'm downloading the app. I'm like checking it every day.
This is 15% off right now at £4.41. This was in the Next Fest, so I'm surprised with that kind of promotion. It hasn't gotten any user reviews.
Yeah, that's not really a great situation to be in at this point.
No.
So, yeah.
No.
But yeah, that is Smoots Summer Games by Kaneda Games. Next up is Last Stop.
And this is the last game of the week.
Yeah, it is. Last game of the week.
Last Stop.
Appropriately named.
Last Stop is a single-player, third-person adventure set in present-day London, where you play as 3 separate characters whose worlds collide in the midst of a supernatural crisis.
This was looking into it, and this is very like Doctor Who kind of situations.
Yeah.
I was just looking into it, and it's not just because it's set in the UK, but like just the situations that are happening, the scenarios all 3 of these characters end up in is like, this feels like Doctor Who episodes. Like, it just has that kind of zany, wild thing that can happen. Is what's going on here, which it's kind of neat.
I really, I was watching the trailer when we're looking through what's put on the list, and it's really, really interesting. I just wish they didn't do it with this engine.
Mm-hmm.
The 3D style and everything. It's like, oh, I really don't like it. The look of it. I wish they did a different art direction entirely.
Yeah. Also, what they mean by adventure is that this game plays like the Telltale games. It's mostly walking around with some something events. I'm forgetting my gaming term. QuickTime. Yes, QuickTime events. I was having a senior moment. Me. So yeah, so it's it's walking around, QuickTime events, very much like Undertale.
I really hate that. I hate QuickTime events, but it's like, especially when you're doing like a narrative kind of game, and you're sitting there and you're listening through the story, and then all of a sudden, oh, action! Oh no! Button mash it! Oh god, it's so annoying.
Actually, I want you to tap X as fast as you can.
Yeah, just nuts.
I was minding my business.
No, I want you to hold. Sorry, the guy died.
Yeah, it was like Resident Evil 5 had that quite a bit in it too while I was playing through. So you'd be like minding your business, it's a cinematic, and then it'd be like
Hey, I can't stand that. I can't stand games like that because it's like I was enjoying the narrative and you just had to like throw something stupid in like that. I don't know.
You're like, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Are you looking at your phone? Don't look at your phone.
It's £19.49. So yeah, reservations about definitely picking up straight away. But yeah, I'm curious also how long it is. So let's see.
It's about 5 hours long.
Yeah. So the game took me about 5 hours to play through and has little replay value. I only recommend this for fans of linear story-driven games. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. A bit expensive for my taste too.
Yeah, they're saying it's definitely more of an interactive movie. But it's standing at 83% positive with 31 user reviews.
Yep, and that's $24.99 USD. Now we come to the most difficult question: what is your game of the week? What's the very best?
The very best is Mini Motorways, hands down.
Oh.
Yes.
And it's going to be even better when you get me that YouTube guy.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to send it to you. So, do you have so that's your vote for the week? You have Mini Motorways?
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah,
okay.
I threw Death's Door in there too. I think that would be really good. And did we talk about Gris this? No, that's the one.
Yeah, that's just the one I'm playing. Yeah.
I that's not from this week, but I added that as well.
Yeah. Check that out. I definitely recommend it. Whether you get it on sale or at full price, I feel like it's going to be a worthwhile experience. You just have to be in a special like contemplative mood for it, because the gameplay is good, but there's a lot of points where you're just kind of running and the scenery is changing around you, and that's trying to tell a story. And that's best when you're not thinking like I'm playing a platform. You have to be like, I'm just relaxing and I'm thinking. That's what I'm doing.
Meditative distraction.
Yes. Yeah.
I can get into games like that. I've played quite a few of them and I've enjoyed them.
Yeah, Death's Door. What about you, Rody? What's your games of the week?
Oh, so for once, I wasn't really interested in anything from the catch-up list. Unfortunately, I wasn't. I don't think it was. Nothing there really grabbed me. Definitely Mini Motorways for me. It's just,
right?
It's
cheap. It looks nice. It's satisfying.
I might actually get it after this and just boot it up and just zone out for like the next 10 hours or something. It's great. But there have been a couple others that I definitely want to pick up. So Song of Farca, I looks super interesting, and it's definitely like kind of tick all those boxes that I love narrative. I love that kind of investigation as well. So yeah, I'm very, very interested in that one. And I'm kind of interested in Cris Tales, but I'm definitely gonna wait till it goes on a sale. And I'm curious if they're gonna, after all that kind of feedback they've gotten from people, I wonder if they're gonna like do anything about it as well. I have to have a dig around on the forums.
That's something about the games media is that you can't. Well, a lot of people, directors can, but it's hard to go back to a movie and fix it after it's out. But with the video game, you can continue to patch it and tweak it and eventually find that good balance. And so just because it has very mixed reviews right now, I do hope the developers go like, oh, hey, there's some we're going to make some future updates. They did have a developer roundtable, but was that an actual? I don't know if that was a Q&A thing or not.
I think that was just before they brought it out, though.
Yeah.
So it's best to look on the discussion page to see if they've addressed any of the issues that people have had.
Yep.
And see if they're going to do an update.
Because aesthetically, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so fantastic.
And of course, I think last stop I'm kind of interested in, but ultimately, I just really can't stand quick time events. But yeah, it's still. I'm curious. I am curious.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. As for me, there's one that Death's Door was one I would definitely pick. So I'm in agreement with Adam there. But the one that stole the show for me is Beardblade.
Yes.
I really like it. It has such nostalgia value. And it just looks really fun. It looks like a sort of, the bearded version of what's that game? The Genie. Shantae, yeah, it's like the bearded Shantae, basically. So I'm quite interested in it, even though this isn't a Metroidvania unlike Shantae. You do kind of develop and such, but this isn't all about going back to the beginning and all the rest. But,
so is this more sort of thing that you'd pick up because you don't go? It's not a Metroidvania.
Yeah, I don't finish Metroidvanias. That's the issue. I finished what's that way? Elysian Tale, Dust and Elysian Tale. I finished that one. That was really... But the main thing that kept me going in that, unlike most other Metroidvanias, is just the narrative of that game keeps pushing forward. There's always like a narrative reason to keep going, and eventually that narrative reason brings you back to where you're supposed to collect the new abilities and stuff. It's a lot easier to keep motivated to go in that one. Whereas most Metroidvanias, you get to a point where it's like, okay, where's the spot where I have to dig to find the thing that's going to let me go to this thing? Like, where is it? It can get very frustrating, especially it's so hard to come back to a Metroidvania after you've put it down for a while.
Yeah.
And you're like, where am I? Where's all the stuff? Like, if you didn't keep any notes, sorry. Better start over. Yeah. But Beardblade doesn't seem to have any of those issues. It's just more of a straight platformer. So, I am eager to check it out. Well, and of course, please, chat, let us know what game you're most interested in. And before we say our goodbyes, TopGunBunny, let us know where the internet can find you, what you've been up to, all of that.
I haven't been streaming in a long time. But you can catch me on these streams when I get invited, and I enjoy coming on, and I enjoy seeing you guys, and I enjoy talking games, and sometimes I even buy one.
Yeah, we kind of make sure that he never has the excuse of like, oh, there's nothing to play. We make sure he's well supplied.
Yeah. There's lots on my wish list.
Yeah. But yeah, what about you, Rhodey?
Obviously each week you can find me on here, but also you can find me on twitch.tv/RhodeyPie. I didn't play anything this week because it was just the weather was absolutely scorching hot. But now that the weather starts cooling down, I'll restart streaming again, and I won't be doing a collaborative where I ruin friendships.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I need to get back to Radio Tom about like what board game we should play together. But I've been looking at tutorials and been trying to decide which one, but I think I know which, and it's just life's been busy, which is why I've only been streaming really on, of course, for the podcast. So you can find the podcast here, right here at Dewey Bear, or you can find the Twitter for the podcast at Steam Podcast on Twitter, and no, it's Podcast Steam on Twitter, and then it's the Steam Release Podcast on YouTube. So
yeah, and don't forget to sign up to the curator page. You sign up, you'll see recommendations for any of the games that we've spoken about on here.
Yep. And of course, that's with that. To all the folks who showed up and everyone on YouTube, bye bye.
Don't forget to like and
Thanks.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming.